Hey, today's Connection Quickie is all about whether you should go to bed angry. I get a lot of questions sent to me, and this is one of the more popular ones. Folks will write in or DM me or whatever and ask about this. Hey, I had a big fight with my partner. Should we, resolve it before we go to bed? We've heard never go to bed angry. Well, I got to tell you, it's not great advice as far as I'm concerned. It's very nice if you can resolve something before you go to bed, but what generally happens is that we're too burnt out to finish those conversations. Remember, willpower is an exhaustible resource, and you exhaust your willpower all day long with all the decisions you make, all the tensions you have, the frustrations, the disappointments, all that stuff chips away at that willpower battery. And by the time you get to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, whatever it is, you don't have a lot left in the tank. So to have these major arguments and try to resolve them and do all that, usually you end up all night just miserable and saying things you shouldn't have said and didn't want to say that you can't take back. It doesn't generally make it better. And if anything, you then wake up the next day exhausted. You feel like hung over, like you were out partying all night and you weren't, from all the emotional upheaval and everything that just happened. So here's my answer to that, because the other side is, well, I'm going to be up all night anyway, so anxious if we don't resolve it. And so here's what I say. First of all, I want you to think, Chris Rock has a little bit where he talks about how ATMs shouldn't be open between I think he says 2 and 4 in the morning, because whatever you're doing at an ATM, when you're trying to get money out of an ATM at 3 a.m., it ain't good. It's not for something that you should be doing. And I really think of this the same way when you're having these arguments and you want closure and these long conversations late into the night. I don't care if you're a night owl and you're someone who, has more energy at night. This is just not a great time to have these deep, long conversations. It's unless you got up at 8 o'clock at night and you want to have them. But even if you're a night owl, your willpower is getting exhausted by the end of a day. So what I say to folks is this. Now, the people think of it as two options. Well, we either have to resolve it or I'm going to go to bed angry. Well, no, you could find another space in there to deal with this. So the other space is this. Now, you might want to sleep in separate rooms if you're really just that upset and can't even look at this person. That's not the end of the world. So whatever you need to do to get a little distance is fine. But what I really want you doing is focusing on calming your nervous system and focusing on calming yourself and getting out of all this stuff. I know what you're doing in your head. And he said this, and I should have said that, and she did this 2 weeks ago, and he's going to do this if I say this, and oh, I'm so mad. He said X, Y, and Z. And you're spinning and tripping on things that got said and things that you think are going to happen in the future. And instead, I need you to bring yourself to the here and now. In the moment, in this very moment in time, to calm where you are and to really come at this a little differently. So what I like people to do, because you really don't want to be having these talks when you're so angry and agitated anyway. It's not really great. It's sort of like we say in parenting, you don't want to punish your kids when you're angry at them, because you're grounded for the rest of your life and I'm taking away everything I've ever given you. We get crazy when we do that. It's really not a good idea. And it's not a good idea, again, when these emotions are flying so high, to have these conversations with your partner. And instead, you want to calm yourself down, which you need to do anyway, even if you had an argument during the day, but especially at night, because it's time to go to sleep. If on a good night's sleep, things really do look different in the morning. They really, really do. However, you need to get that good night's sleep. So how do you do that? You, again, calm the system. So you might go take a bath. If you're going to stay up a little later, to calm yourself that way. You might drink some warm milk. You might just read a book, just something completely different that can take your mind off this until you fall asleep. But you need to calm that sympathetic nervous system. You need to actually calm all this fight and flight and freeze that's happening in your head. And we do that, by grounding. You might take some deep breaths. If you have a meditation practice, now's the time. If you don't, go online, listen to a guided visualization that'll just help calm you, just help sort of bring the energy down. Any of those things are really good. And sometimes you can even do that and just fall asleep sort of listening to something that's really calming. Progressive relaxation exercise of any kind is really great when you're feeling like that. And again, you can listen to these online these days with YouTube and everything else. It's so simple and free to get something that's, again, going to calm that nervous system. So don't just think of calming like, I'm just going to think different. I'm going to think myself out of this. That's what doesn't generally work, and that's why you end up spinning. You actually have to think of physically calming your system, however you want to do that, because you're just so agitated. Grounding techniques are another great way to do that, where you plant your feet firmly on the floor, really put yourself in the moment completely with what you smell, what you see, where you are, because in that moment, in our moments, we're safe. In our moments, we're okay. And so in the moment, and to bring yourself there is incredible. So these are some of the ways that you do that, and you need to figure this out anyway, whether the argument is at night or in the morning or whatever it is. You need to figure out how you're going to calm yourself, put yourself in a better space. I have one client, she writes a gratitude list whenever she's in this kind of state. She just writing that down and really putting herself in what she's grateful for really helps her ease off and back off all that anger, resentment, all that stuff that's building and flowing. And so that's really your secret, is to calm your physical system, however you can do that best. And then in your brain to redirect it towards love, compassion, gratitude, any of those things you can do, knowing, this will get handled in the morning. I am someone who handles my stuff. I will handle this too. And really knowing that that's what's going to be, having faith in yourself, having faith in your partner, but mostly in yourself, that you're okay, that you're going to get through this, that you're there for yourself, and that you will figure out a resolution tomorrow, even if today it doesn't seem like there is one. So I kind of say, I don't say it's okay to go to bed angry, because I don't want you doing that, because you won't fall asleep, but it is okay to go to bed without resolving a conflict with your partner and giving yourself some space. That's how I want you to think about it. So you're not going to bed angry. You're going to bed calmer and more peaceful with yourself. You just aren't going to have closure on whatever that big issue is that you're having with your partner. So let that go till the next day. Fresh day, new perspective. Tomorrow is a new day. Let that happen. And in the meantime, make sure you're calming yourself. Okay, that's it for today. I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. I help people create lasting change in their relationships in a short amount of time, even if their partner won't do a thing. If you haven't yet, please, 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 I'm begging, subscribe to the channel so more people can hear about it. Definitely share it with anybody you might know who you think could benefit from these nice, quick connection quickies, hence the name. Have a great day, everybody.